I'll just start. Sounds good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you all for coming. I'd like to welcome in our audience as well on our social media platforms. I'm Tyler Peterson, the team's play-by-play broadcaster and assistant general manager. James Harris, our assistant coaches, first base coach, and JT Snow, Ballers bench coach. We'll start here. Gentlemen, yesterday our first playoff game. The Ballers did not win. It was unfortunately for a loss, a very close game throughout. James, we'll start with you. Your general thoughts on how the team performed otherwise, and what you're looking forward to in tomorrow's game as well.
Thanks for being here. Overall, I think we started off very strong. We like the matchup with Mike Jordan on the mound, and coming out of the bullpen with Cosby. They both playing really well all year, especially matching up well with Pichiolo. I think we let a couple at bats get away, giving them a few extra base runners that have been hurting us a little bit. But offensively, I think we were really strong. We hit the ball a lot. It's a big ballpark there, so it definitely takes a few hits to try and scratch some runs across, and we had a ton of base runners. And they made some good plays in big times with 2 outs. But I like our at-bats, and I like our matchups against their arms leading in the game too. So I'm looking forward to the next matchup tomorrow.
Now tomorrow we'll see Chandler David on the mound for Oakland, Brandon McPherson on the mound for Yolo. These two teams are the top 3 pitching staffs in the league. You've seen these guys almost 40 times now. The matchups are known matchups. And in yesterday's game, Cameron Rapetti, who was the ace of the Yolo staff, we got him for 10 hits, only 3 runs, but it's as well as we've performed against him this year. What are your thoughts on how this team has faced these pitchers this year, and how they'll do against McPherson, because they had a very good performance against McPherson last week?
I think the beauty of it is that when you see people over and over again, you can start to build a better game plan. You know what to expect. And so, like you said, last week, I want to say we put up 7 runs, I believe. And I know he's going to come back ready to, pitch, a better ball game. But, I think our guys are pretty locked in. And throughout the second half, I would say they've had really good at-bats throughout the season. At-bats have gotten a lot better. And I think our matchup with McPherson is going to be really good. He knows our hitters well, so he's going to try and attack our guys. But our hitters have been pretty stable throughout the second half of the season. So if we can just follow up on what we started yesterday with good at bats, and just kind of putting the ball and play hard, I think we're going to put ourselves in a good position to put up some runs.
Now, JT, I want to take you on sort of a broader journey here. We want to think about spring training in May. Here we are, first couple weeks of September. The long road, I think, at the beginning of the year, when we looked around at the team on the diamond the first time we saw them, I think the team knew it had the makings of a playoff caliber team. And, we had that confidence going into the year. The team has now made the playoffs. In fact, they're the second best team in the league in the regular season. What did you see early on from this team, and did you believe that from day one they'd be in this spot?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me back. I started out with the team in spring training. I missed a portion of the year, a few weeks, actually a lot of weeks. I was away from the team, but never stopped following them. Was checking the Ballers website every day, the box scores. I got to really bond with these kids, and a lot of the players are new now. We got about half the guys when I was here, but in spring training, you could tell their excitement and their will and their passion to work. And these kids are all great kids. They're chasing a dream. They want to get higher, go to affiliated ball, and chase their dream. So it's been fun to watch. I've come back the last couple of weeks and been in the dugout, just the fact to be able to talk to them day in, day out. I watched the game last night online. I'm going to be here tomorrow and Friday. And even though I've played in 5 postseasons in my career, they don't always go the way you want, but I'll say the one thing is when you get the home field advantage, these next couple nights, we got a chance. And it's going to be fun to have the fans come out, support the team, pack the stadium, and get behind these kids because the next 2 nights could be special. And just the fact that this is an expansion team, and we have 2 expansion teams, and Yolo's had a great year also, to be in this position in the first round of the playoffs is pretty special. So you could see it. We were up in Sacramento for 6 days. The leadership, Aaron's done an amazing job. Jim Dietrich, our pitching coach, done an amazing job. The kids are great, like I said. The passion's there, and even though we're down 1-0, the next 2 nights could be special. So to get the fans out there, get behind these guys, and see where it goes. And in my experience in the postseason, it's about pitching, playing some defense, and getting some timely hits. And it sounded like the boys hit the ball pretty good yesterday. I was talking to James off camera, talking to Jim. I was texting with Aaron last night. They said they hit the ball great. It just didn't go their way. So excited to come out and watch the next 2 nights.
About half the team, you said, of course, is new with independent baseball and partner league baseball. You get that a lot. We've had 4 guys who've luckily had their contacts transferred to major league clubs, but there are quite a few guys who are still here for spring training, about half the team. You've gotten to work with some of these hitters from day 1 now to whatever it is, day 110. You have seen some players make strides as professionals, and to be a professional baseball player for the first time, there's a lot you have to figure out in the game of baseball that not necessarily was something you had to deal with in the college game. How have you seen some of these players progress from day 1 to where we are now?
Yeah, I always fight for the baseball players because the season is hard. It's a long grind, and you got to remember these kids are all coming off the college season, and now 90-something games here, and it's ups and downs, and it's being away from home. It's living here in a new area. The kids that I was with up in Sacramento, Noah Martinez had a soft spot in the heart. He's first baseman, so I kind of paid special attention to him. And he's had a great year. He's been consistent day in and day out. DeAndre Hubbard, Brad Raquel, all these guys that have played well. It's not easy. It's hard to know yourself, find yourself, take the ups with the downs. I think they've had some great leadership, and it's something their lifetime they're never going to forget. They're going to remember playing here, hopefully going to bigger and better things, and we're pushing for that. But yeah, it's just we all love the game of baseball. It's fun to watch these guys day in and day out, how they prepare, the batting practice, the infield during the games. So yeah, it's been fun to watch, and I've been watching, like I said earlier, from the side for a few weeks. But it's good to be back, and we got 2 more games to win. It's the finals. So yeah, it's been a blast.
What does this mean? Oakland's obviously has its fair share of issues and problems. What has this team meant to the community? And talk about the support it's kind of rallied the community behind and leading into this game. Does anyone want to touch on that?
Being an Oakland native, it's and growing up in this community, it's amazing to see how many people have gotten behind the organization in such a short time. I think 6 months ago this was just an idea, and now we're talking about competing for a championship. And I think the guys have had a chance to experience what it's like to have some challenges in Oakland, and also persevere through those challenges in Oakland as a group, which is kind of what Oakland's about, is coming together as a city, as a community, to get behind something. And baseball just happens to be that something. So, um, you know, even throughout the season, to go from opening day to see a full sold-out crowd, to some of the spotty crowds in the middle of the season during the summer, to now consistent homestands where, we're seeing 2,000 fans a game, 2,500 fans a game. I mean, that's incredible, for just the amount of support that these guys and the organization has gotten. And I think as an organization, we've tried to just keep our arms open, keep our ears open to things that they want, things that they need in order to create an atmosphere for them to want to come to for years to come. So, I mean, I'm excited either way with how the season ends, but for a city, I think this is something to look forward to.
Because looking forward, I mean, you guys, all the teams professional teams will be gone by the end of this year. So for you guys, it's like, do you take that role as like, being a kind of a beacon for the city as far as like sports and how it kind of unifies everyone and brings people together going forward? Because you guys would be like one of the only professional franchises around.
For sure. We've since day one talked about being a team that was built by the community, for the community. And I think throughout the season, we've done our best to be inclusive to different youth groups, community groups, corporate businesses all the way around, to create partnerships and community relationships, just to let them know that we're here in support of what they're doing for the city. And just want to continue to spread that word too. So being in the organization, I think that gives us a valuable platform to be able to spread the things that they're doing in the community, as well as be a big pillar in the community to bring everybody together.
I'll actually add something. Say in terms of the first year, I think we're extremely happy with how everything has gone. If you want to measure success on the diamond, second best team in the league, playoff team, a team that had 4 contracts transferred to major league organizations, the Giants, the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Blue Jays. And then the off-field success is bringing the community together, getting everything here built in the time it needed to get built by, just having a place to play in the spring was a goal we had to meet, and we did. So I think in terms of the success of year one, no matter how you slice it, it's been a tremendous ride.
So the fact that I live here in the Bay Area year round, as we all do, but the fact that you go around and wear these hats, people know what the Bees are, the feedback you get, the people that come to the games, the crowds that they've drawn. I never realized when I was playing how much a part of life baseball is for people. And it's an everyday game. So people want to come out every day, forget their problems for a while, come to a game, root their team on. They've gotten to know these guys. And for that to be offered here, supported here, it's been an amazing thing. And there's a lot of teams in this league that have been around since the inception of the Pioneer League, which, I don't know, 90 years old, 80 years old. And I don't know if people realize that an expansion team to have the second best record in the league year one, it's a credit to Tyler's getting players, signing players, the coaches, coaching them up, and then the fans coming out and supporting them. Because when you're a player and you get fan support, it lifts you up. And talking to the players when they come and play here at Raimondi Park, they're excited. And we've got an exciting ballpark, and a lot of things can happen. So it's just the people around the Bay Area know about the Oakland Ballers now. It's a tribute to Paul and Brian, the owners, that pulled this thing together almost a year, less than a year. So it's been fun. I go places and people want to talk about the Ballers. They're following kids that are playing. They know some of the better pitchers, some of the guys that are signed, some of the hitters, and that's a success story. Wherever the playoffs goes, it goes. But the fact that we get here and have the chance to give the people here in this community a chance to come out, enjoy baseball, get connected to the players is pretty special. So it's been a huge success.
I'm wondering if you can take us inside what it was like in the clubhouse over the second half. In particular, the Ballers have gone on an incredible run over the last month and a half or so of the season. Did you feel the team come together at all? Was there an increase in energy? Tell us a bit about what it's been like coaching the team.
It's been fun being a part of the clubhouse. Morale is they've come together every single day in the second half, and I think that there was a certain point I think where they felt like they were the best team in the league, and I think they knew what they were up against too, and they knew what they were competing for. So the second half, we got clubhouse leaders like Andre, Tilo, catcher, Reed, and many more. But I think we have the core group of the guys that have been here since spring training. I think those are the guys that see the finish line, and I think the guys that we brought in, not only on the field, what they've been able to bring to the table, but just in the locker room and in the clubhouse, they've been able to mesh and come in and just kind of fit right in with these group of guys, which, like JT said, is a huge credit to Tyler and Walk, who are people who are sourcing our players. Character's a big thing in the clubhouse and just on the field in general. And so when you have a group of guys that are humble and hungry and just want to compete to win, it makes that clubhouse energy that much better. And they also don't hold on to losses very long either. We went on large runs. We had multiple 5-game win streaks. And, when you lose a streak, it's easy to kind of fall off the train a little bit, but they never steered away from that. They didn't hold on to losses. They kept their head up. At times you'd walk in the locker room and not really know who won or lost. And, in some places when you lose, they kind of want you to tone it down, but we try to keep it loose for those guys so they can continue to just play and be themselves. So it's been a great atmosphere in the clubhouse, in the dugout, on the field. When we travel, these guys spend a lot of time together too, and I think that is a huge part of our success, is that these guys live together. So they spend every day, spent the last 5 months with each other, and I'm sure after the season they'll be glad to go home. But when you are at this point in the season and you live with these guys, it makes it that much easier to go into the locker room and still be able to match. It makes it that much easier to go out and compete for each other on the field too. So I think that's a big part of it too.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Good.
Tilo, Noah.
Yeah. Get the stars on there.
Questions
Oh, good question. This is the streaming app. Let me check the.
Sure.
But so far it wasn't when I checked like a minute ago.
What's up?
Two of the originals.
You got me.
Both of them. There's only two of us.
No questions, but just if you all can speak louder, then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
If there's any questions from the social media audience, please let us know as well. We'll be happy to take your questions. Once again, I'm Tyler. Sitting next to me, Tyler Lozano, catcher for the Ballers. Noah Martinez, first baseman for the Ballers. Guys, we'll start off similarly. I asked JT about May and spring training. Now, Tilo, you're from Stockton area, you're somewhat local. Noah, you're coming all the way across the country from Connecticut. I believe you drove from Connecticut as well. Tilo, I'll just start with you. Back in May, you guys come together out in Sacramento and basically start a 3-week road trip to begin the season, never seeing your home field. Now here we are, about to play our first home game the night before. You're the second best team in the league, you're a playoff team. What kind of thoughts run through your head when you think about the last 100 days or so?
Yeah, it's been exciting, and Noah and I actually were just talking about being back in Oakland for a playoff game, and how Davis was just kind of, not many fans, and kind of being able to come back here and play for a city that enjoys baseball, a city that wants to have us stay, and a city that loves to watch us play. So I think it's been exciting in the last 100 days. It's been I would say it's been a whirlwind of excitements and different things, but we're settled now with the team we have, and we're just excited to be back on the field and show the fans what we have.
Now I'll give you the same question. Said drove from Connecticut. 100 days later, you're a full season into being a professional baseball player. What are your thoughts when you think about how this season has gone? Because as far as seasons go, an expansion franchise, going through the things it's gone through to get here and being the second best team in the league is a pretty wild season.
Yeah, it's been really wild. I mean, it's been great. I think the first, after the 100 days, you've seen that we've grown a lot as players and as an organization. I think I'm extremely proud to be a part of it. Again, I didn't really drive across the country to lose, and I'm happy to be here. I'm just ready to get this ring.
Tyler, I want to ask you, as far as a wild season goes, your first as a professional, you've had a really nice year, fantastic year behind the plate, and in the middle of August, you had a surprise appendectomy, let's say. So I want to know, of all your efforts this year, as hard as things have been, has the hardest thing for you been to just watch your teammates for a couple of weeks and sort of having to go through the motions of not being able to help your guys out there? How difficult was that for you?
Yeah, that was hard. This is kind of hard for me. I've never really been injured, so it was a new reality for me. But it was exciting. Honestly, we were on a winning streak when I was hurt, so I kind of got to watch some really good baseball. I got to see some new players, some new pitchers that I haven't caught yet, so I was able to watch them from the side, kind of learn their game. So as much as I was sitting down, I was also kind of keeping myself focused and knowing I was going to come back and be ready for a time like this for playoff time. So it was hard. It was definitely difficult to sit out. I've never been used to sitting on the bench and watching a game, so that was a little boring for me. But I definitely enjoyed watching the guys win and compete out there.
And Noah, while Tilo was hurt, while some other guys were hurt, you were one of the players that really had to step up and put the team on your back. In the last month, you had your biggest home run output of the season. You finished the year as a team leader in home runs. Was that something that you consciously thought about, or was the good run for you just a matter of you playing well, seeing good pitches, and the ball out of the ballpark? What's the last month been for you? Because it's been more or less a playoff run for the last 3 weeks or so.
I think one of the biggest things that I think about when it comes to team sports or just playing on a team is doing your job. Some pieces that are gonna fall. Tilo had his incident, and other people had their incidents, and we just want to make sure that we're doing our job as best we can, and kind of understanding what your job is and just following through on that and winning the game. I think when you win the game, the box score kind of explains itself. It'll take care of itself. So those hits might come, they might not come. Just doing your job is super cool.
You did your job well.
Thank you. Thank you too.
One last question before we open it up. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on this clubhouse this year. Now, Tilo, I know you have guys on this team that you played with previous, and Noah, you came into spring training with a guy you played with previous. And I do also know, Noah, that from your time in the draft league, there's a lot of familiar faces both on the team and on opposing teams. But what's this clubhouse been like in the experience of getting with this group, winning with this group of guys, and just overall how that season has progressed and getting to you guys?
I think it's been great. I mean, it's been a pretty easy process, obviously, coming here, not knowing a lot of people, just kind of seeing some familiar faces. But I think we gelled really fast because we just got thrown into it, kind of a whole new organization, whole new opportunity for everybody else. And I think that we just kind of rallied behind each other since the beginning. With all the stuff that's been happening, I think that we did a really good job of handling those things and kind of just rallying behind each other to win those games. So I've been really proud to be a part of this whole organization, and it's an honor to be here. So.
Yeah, it's been fun. I think the good part is kind of a lot of us have played with each other, played against each other. So when we came in, we all had the same goal, and we're all kind of social people. I think that was the fun part about it. In the locker room, there was never any awkward moments. I mean, from day one, we got in there, knew each other, and it felt like we played with each other for 4 years. So now, with some changes being made, and now, towards the end of the year, even the new guys fit in pretty well. And I think that's just a testament to some guys that have been here from the beginning, who wanted to make sure everyone feels welcomed. And that starts from the top, from the organization that's kind of made us feel welcome, and wanted to make the fans feel welcome. So I think that's just a key that we have as ballers, just make it feel welcome.
You guys have been living together for 6 months or so now. What's been your favorite part of the house atmosphere? And what do you do when you're at the house or when you're in Oakland and you don't have practice or games? Can you give us a little peek inside?
Yeah, we've been living together. We've moved houses a little bit, so that's been fun. But I mean, we hang out. I mean, we don't have to be at the ballpark till 2-3 o'clock some days, so we'll wake up, play video games. We try to compete no matter what we're doing. So like last night, we had Peyton and Jalen playing college football with each other, and they had a 3-game series. So we play a lot of video games. We like to hang out, talk baseball, and it's just busy. There's always something to do. We have 9 guys living in a house together. There's some guys are hanging out on the court, some guys are watching TV. So it's a fun time, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, to second that, it's pretty much the same thing. I think when it's 9 guys in the house per house, it's always pretty exciting. So again, playing college football on the Xbox, going to play golf, all this other stuff, it's always something to do. We just have a really good group of guys, so it's just kind of finding something to do before you go to the ballpark and then take care of business. So.
Who's the best golfer on the team?
we're gonna say Jim. Jim's the best. I mean, he's a scratch golfer. He's a really good golfer. If we're gonna go player wise, I'm gonna say Jake Dolly. Dolly's a really good golfer. He takes it.
What's been your favorite thing to do around town since you've been? You mentioned golf. I'd be interested to know where you've been playing. What else you guys do around town?
One of the first experiences that I did when I went to branch out to the town, I went to Lake Merritt. I went to go fish, which was fun. I took Bradford Co with me and some other friends, which was fun. And just explore in terms of food. I think that's really cool. The culture differences in food, which is great. Yeah, I mean, we have a busy schedule, so there's not a lot of free time, but I love to fish, so that's probably one of the biggest things that I do.
Yeah, I would say the food. I'm a big foodie, so I've kind of been going around. There's an Oakland street food downtown. Cowbird is actually right over here. That's pretty good. I've gone there. I've liked that we have had the market on Sundays. So I would say a lot of us kind of go around and get food in the mornings, afternoon, try new spots. And then Lake Merritt's a nice little view. A lot of us kind of go check that place out, hang out. But yeah, like Noah said, a lot of our free time is usually morning, afternoon. And a lot of us actually, I know from Oakland, I'm sorry, but a lot of us actually go over into the city. A lot of people have never seen Golden Gate Bridge, so that's an attraction for them to see. And a lot of them want to experience the city as well. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much.
Nice job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.